My sister slept with my boyfriend and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. Sorry, but this post will have a lot of bad energy and I'm terrible at writing in English, so if anyone is going to read the post, I'm sorry for all the grammatical errors that are likely to be in the post. Tongue. So a few days ago I, F25, found out that my sister, 24F, has been sleeping with my boyfriend, now ex, 25 meters. We dated for 3 years, for 1 year or probably more. They always had a close relationship, but I obviously took it as something innocent. I don't like video games, but my sister does, so they talked a lot by text and I thought it was about games they like until I found out that no. They talked a lot about their secret dates while I was working and in college. I found pictures, videos and a lot of other disgusting things in the chats between my ex and my sister. My pathetic sister found pleasure in asking my pathetic ex all the time if she's smarter or prettier than me. She even compared our private parts. WTH, we're both pretty, she's actually thinner and prettier than me, and even if she's an introvert she has her group of friends, so I really don't understand where she got so much venom towards me. Our parents never compared us or anything like that, and she was always the one asking my ex to compare both of us in the chats. The first thing I did was throw all my ex-boyfriend's things out of the apartment. I insulted him in 1,000 ways and I kept the PC that I gave him for Christmas. I didn't speak a single word to my sister for over a week and she didn't contacted me like the coward she is until yesterday when she sent me a message trying to justify herself by saying that it was a mistake. Yes, a mistake that lasted more than a year, and that I should forgive her because we're sisters and blah blah blah. At one point I thought, should I be the mature person in the situation who doesn't let resentment speak for her? But then I realized that I've never been that kind of person. I took my phone and wrote a long message to my sister that I would love to write here, but I am sure that I would break the rules since I called her out in every possible way, and I wrote a lot of personal things too. I told her how much of a failure she is and how she has always envied me, and that's why she needed to feel what it's like to be me for a second of her sad life. She sent me a voice massage crying and saying that she's in a very weak moment mentally, but she's still with him, Lamau, and I shouldn't make her feel worse and that she regrets it. I just reacted to her message with this emoji and didn't even hear the long voice message until the end. Was it a low thing to attack her with all her flaws? Yes, but it's lower to betray your sister and believe that she's going to forgive you just because you share blood with her. Honestly, I feel really good after sending her that message and feel that it was therapeutic to take out everything I feel to give closure to that. BTW, I've never used a PC for gaming, but I'm looking for tutorials on YouTube about how to download The Sims. I helped my sister in every moment of her life. I literally fought for her when she was being bullied during high school. I helped her thousands of times to make friends. I even accompanied her everywhere she wanted. It is a betrayal that really hurts and I will never forgive, never. It hurts me that she slept with someone I loved, but it hurts me a lot all the things I read in those chats, how she enjoyed watching him compare me to her, or how she asked him about personal things about our relationship just to laugh at it. She's dead to me and my parents knows it. I don't even care if I'm a bad person like them. This is something I can't forgive and I don't even feel bad for my reaction. Oop, to be honest, the relationship was already going bad in some ways, although that doesn't justify what he did, so I don't feel too bad for breaking up. I took out the trash. Oop, thanks. They already know everything. Neither of them are on her side and they respect that I want to cut off all contact with my sister. My parents are really strict, so I think they're going to cut contact with her too, but that's their decision. I don't want to get into that and cause problems. Thank you for all the nice comments you left me. Many wrote to me with tips for The Sims and I'm really grateful. Thanks for the game recommendations, even though I'm really bad at playing action game. The last action game I played was Resident Evil 4 on the PS2 long time ago, and it was because I had a crush with Leon Kennedy. He would never cheat on me, BTW. As a token of appreciation, and because I also like it when the op uploads the whole gossip, I will put here half of the message I sent to my sister. The message I sent her was really long and I cut out the parts where I talk about very private things or when I insulted her to not make the post too uncomfortable, because I was really hurt and angry at that moment and I talked about many personal things in the text. I will put the copy of the message in the end if someone talks Spanish. I'm sorry if it sounds weird in English. I did my best to translate it and I had to remove a lot of parts. I'm not interested in hearing any of your excuses. I believed you when a problem she had with her ex-friend group happened because I really trusted that you would never do something like that, but now I understand why everyone leaves you alone and you deserve it. What you did to me is a shit and you know it, but you didn't care because you spent a year being the whore of X name without any shame, and now that I found out everything you went days without talking to me because you were a coward, and on top of that you still don't care about what you did to me. You're only talking to me because dad probably stopped talking to you and you're running out of money, so you want to fix this shit so he gives you money again. You were always an asshole, but don't you think it's a lot to be my boyfriend's second woman? How little respect do you have for yourself? We're sisters. I don't even know what's going on in your head because I don't understand what's wrong with you. Girl, I read all the messages between you and you even started comparing our bodies. You're sick. You know that I never did anything for you to do this to me and I loved you. But everything turned out really well for you because he's with you, so enjoy that feeling and the love you two have for the other for now, because you are going to be really lonely later and you are going to go back to your cave, but this time I am not going to be there to pity you like every time I did before. Stay with him. There's nothing that interests me less than fighting for an idiot who is surely going to leave you, but let me make it clear to you that you're not going to hear about me again. This dies here. We are not sisters anymore. If I see you on the street, then I'm going to cross to the opposite sidewalk to not see you. Update 1. They broke up. Nobody's surprised when all of this happened. My parents scolded my sister and she got offended and didn't speak to our parents except to ask them for money. She asked them for money to buy things for her career, but then my aunt told my parents that my sister actually used that money to buy my ex some sneakers. My parents never gave her any money from that day on. She's an idiot tbh. My parents started to pay for us to go to a private college, and the only thing we have to do is literally study. The only thing she had to do was take her studies seriously, but she didn't, so my father got tired and hasn't sent her money for months. My ex discovered the post because he said it went viral in Facebook, and obviously he recognized the story. He contacted me to apologize and said he knows he did wrong by hurting me like that, but my sister manipulated him and it was a total mistake. I told him he can shove his apologies in the ass. Meanwhile, my sister and I have only crossed paths a few times, but she always avoids me because she thinks I'm going to hit her. I won't. We're not going to the same career, so we luckily don't see each other too much anyway. A few days ago she went to our parents' house saying that she broke up with my ex, and that she felt really sad and had an anxiety attack. I don't know exactly what they talked about since I wasn't there, but my mother told me that she told my sister that she knew what was going to happen when she slept with him, and my sister justified herself by saying that they are in love, so my mother and her just argued again and my sister left. Now she doesn't talk to anyone in the family except our grandmother to ask for money. I know my sister is not going to change her bad habits and she didn't learn anything from this. I even think she will get together with my ex again because they're just toxic with each other, but it's her life to ruin, not mine, and I don't care anymore. The bright side, I sold the PC to a guy from Reddit that saw my post and that really saved me from having to keep paying the dues. Unfortunately I didn't get to play The Sims much, but I prefer the extra money. My ex had told me that he wanted the PC back, but I told him that then he should pay the remaining dues and he said no, so the idiot wanted the PC for free even though he slept with my sister. The weird side, there are YouTubers who are literally charging their subscribers to read the post or other Reddit posts in their podcast. TF, at least give me a share of the profits. I know it's a boring update and probably everyone wanted that the update was my sister begging for forgiveness and my ex suffering, but no, they are just two idiots who deserve each other and nothing more happened. But even today I received a message asking me for an update. Haha. Update 2. Almost 1 month ago my sister talked to me from another number to tell me that her friend saw my post in a video on Facebook. Apparently it's even translated into Spanish. Haha. We spoke again for the first time. She made a big fuss saying that I didn't even changed our ages or data, so her friend obviously acknowledged that I was talking about her since I didn't even hide my nationality. I told her that I wasn't interested about it and she should be thankful that I didn't post it on my own Facebook. She told me I'm a poss because I portrayed her as a slut, but honestly I don't regret it. No one here knows her face and I'm the one who looks like a cuckold in front of everyone who knows us personally. She started pressuring me to delete the posts, but I told her that it doesn't make sense to do it anymore because it's everywhere, so I just blocked that number too. A few weeks after I made my last post, they got back together, but now they're not together anymore. Acquaintances in common that I have with both of them usually tell me that they cheat on each other all the time, or maybe they have an open relationship. But those people always see them with other people in clubs. I'm not very interested in that since I avoid going to the same clubs as them. It's really annoying because my sister used to not go to clubs, but now she started to go to the same ones I always used to go. She always criticized me for going to those environments. At this exact moment they are not together and my ex has been looking for excuses to see me, like returning clothes that I forgot at his house, clothes that I don't really need. That's why I never went to look for them. So one day he came to my apartment unannounced to bring me my clothes and I had no choice but to let him in and we slept together. Just kidding, ha. I just let him into my apartment to leave the clothes. I should talk to the manager of my apartment to tell him that my ex is no longer allowed to have free access to my door. And it was very uncomfortable because he reminded me all the time that he's no longer with my sister and that I am a great woman. I told him that I know I am great, but I am not interested in hearing about his relationship with my sister. I love gossip though, and I just invited him to leave my place. He even tried to kiss me on the cheek before leaving. Yikes. Meanwhile, my parents don't know what to do with my sister anymore because she's even stopped going to college, although she's never really paid much attention to her studies, and they're tired of spending money if she doesn't make an effort. They have warned her that if she continues like this they will stop paying for her studies, but from what my mother said, my sister does not care and she really believes that my parents will at some point give her money again to fulfill her whims. I really hope right now that she doesn't get pregnant, but I'm even afraid she'll do that so my parents can support her again. And about me, I feel much better, except for the fact that I don't go to my favorite club anymore. I'm very well emotionally and I've already reached a point where I hear their shit show as if it were something foreign to me and I was just watching two crazy clowns. Now on to second story. Confronted my absentee husband at our chaotic family reunion, exploded over his debts and lack of support, then left him speechless. I'm a 35F married to a 38 man. We have been together for 10 years and have 2 children, 9 and 5. My husband works very hard. He has multiple jobs. He works throughout the week. Recently we had a discussion about taking time off and spending some time together. It is difficult because of things in his past. He accumulated a lot of debt, which is why he works so much. I work 60+ hours a week and take care of the household and childcare things while much of his income goes to paying his debts. I keep up with the household. I do the housework and lawn work, repairs, etc., and he contributes where he can. Within this year he has taken time off for family and coworker events. He has scheduled time to take trips with his friends, and when he does so I'm the designated babysitter. Many days after he gets home he is responsible for his parents. He takes them grocery shopping, fixes things at their household and does some of their housework. I forgot to mention he is one of 5 and all 4 siblings live close to his parental home. His parents assist in child care for his siblings but not for ours. I've told him my frustrations of being consistently placed on the back burner. The other day I lost it. I found out he invited his family to our house for a family reunion last week. I thought he took time off of work and he didn't. The house was a mess, and most of the mess is his. I was expected to clean the house, get the groceries, run the kids to their weekend events, start cooking and get the reunion set up as he set the time for 4 p.m. the time he gets out of work. The kids are helpful in doing their chores and cleaning their rooms. I got the house clean and by the time his family started pouring in I was stewing as he was at work. He asked me why there weren't any clean towels as he was going to take a shower and I freaked out in front of his whole family. I ran down the list of how I'm always on the back burner for these people, how I am one person and I'm the one contributing to the household while he works just to pay off his debts, how I have no security or support in this relationship and that he is like having another child and that all I feel like I'm worth is an occasional fuck whenever he is in the mood. I let it all out. I ended with him done. I packed a bag and I took off. I'm sat in a parking lot hysterical. And no, the kids weren't present, they were outside playing. He is a good father to the kids but as a husband I feel like I am better off by myself. I have so much resentment towards him. And no, he hasn't called. He texted me loud and clear, which made me even more angry because this is exactly how he deals with everything. I'm now feeling like an asshole for going off and saying all I did, especially in front of his family. Update 1. After the loud and clear text I was bombarded with phone calls and texts from his family. I sent a message to my husband to give me some space and if he had any care for me in this relationship to call off his dogs. I put my phone on do not disturb with the exception of my children's iPad. I had called my mother, sent her some money and she picked them up for a special grandma date/sleepover. Once they were there I FaceTimed them and told them I was working. I'm not working. I had a secret rainy day fund and splurged on a nice hotel and spa day, had a few drink, cried my eyes out some more and just spent the day unplugged and journaled all my feelings. I haven't had time to do any of that in a very long time. After that I mustered up the courage to open Reddit and read my fate and wow was I surprised. I was fully expecting a ton of you are the asshole comments. To clear up a few things. I shamefully do not know the lengths of his debts. Much of it was from his parents putting bills in his name, others is just mismanagement of money, credit cards, etc. I took over the finances after I found a letter in the mail saying that we were going to lose the house. I was contributing to the household bills at the time and he was doing the finances. I trusted things were well. This was after marriage and after kids. We went to counseling because of it and he said he was ashamed and afraid to tell me the truth. I took over about 3 years ago and I told him to focus on clearing his debt and I'd hold the household down while he did. I did not expect it to take this long and with inflation everything has just become more expensive and that much more hard for me. I was supposed to go back to school and that was put on hold so I could catch up on what we behind, hence the working 60+ hours. I'm a nurse and I work 12-hour shifts and capitalize on overtime where I can. I agree with the comment saying I'm burned out. I realized this today. I realized at work or at home I'm constantly in critical thinking caregiver mode. My job is to care and problem solve for everyone but myself. To clear up the comment of his family doesn't watch our kids is because they did so one time and threw it in our faces and I said never again. I see how they use him. I have said something before and he returns with one day they won't be here and I'll wish I could have done more. I told him that's fine but you have siblings that are equally responsible, some that don't have spouses or kids that can contribute. As far as the house and things go he does really help when he can. Don't jump on me, I just want to be truthful. I think it came across that he comes home and does nothing. He just works up to 16 hours 7 days a week so a lot of times it's me doing the majority of it. As far as the trips goes. Yeah. That's a sore spot. He tells me about them. He takes the day off. It pisses me off. I have to beg for time and if and when we do get it we end up in a fight or I have to plan everything or we can't get sitters and sit home and he sleeps all day. And to be honest I'm so full of resentment that it's almost too little too late. Like when I'm around him I'm just so pissed off. He says I always have an attitude and that he's trying but nothing is ever good enough. So, I just stopped and accepted my fate, hence the blow up. I haven't spoken to him yet besides telling him to call off his family. He was part of the DND on my phone. I'm enjoying the peace, I'm enjoying being by myself, and just being present and aware of my feelings. Knowing my kids are safe and I can truly take some time for myself and my mental health right now is everything. I know tomorrow I have to go back to reality and deal with everything. I promise to update when I can. I'm so ready to leave you all hanging if this isn't the update you had hoped for. I just want to enjoy this escape a little while longer while I can before my world implodes. Thank you all and please keep the advice coming. I truly am alone on this one and need all the advice and support I can get. Update 2. I did call my husband this morning. I could tell by his voice he didn't sleep last night and he confirmed that he in fact did not. He told me after the blow up he asked everyone to leave. He was surprised to see my mother as I sent her to pick up the kids. He said that's when it really became real. We had a long conversation. I did apologize for exploding and doing so when I did and not communicating better. He said he understands why I felt like I couldn't and was actually glad it happened the way it did. His family finally got to see how much they affected his home. According to him, after I left he laid into them and told them that he can no longer be the only one to help his family out and that a lot of the mess he's in is their fault. He said that after the blow up he told his siblings they need to step up and help with his parents. His parents were obviously upset with the whole ordeal. I couldn't care less, to be honest. They couldn't believe that they are such a burden because they ask for a little help from time to time. I just rolled my eyes in disgust as he was talking. My new space along with my feelings of hurt and anger just let me speak all my truths. I had nothing left to give or lose, so I told him how I felt about everything. He sat in silence for a while, then finally broke down and said he feels like a failure. He's ashamed of the debt, and how much he has let us down. He said he was exhausted and has been feeling depressed because he couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and feels as though he's ruined our future. That he goes out with his friends to feel normal and himself because all he does is work. That he does this because of T.'s black cloud that's been hanging over him. I wasn't my best self in this moment and told him to save me the self-pity. It's pathetic. That he got himself into this mess and I'm digging him out. I'm fucking depressed too. There's a ton of shit I want to do that I can't do because I'm financially unable to do so. I went off how over the past 3 years his income has gone solely to debt repayment, yet there's no end in sight, because I haven't even seen the so-called debt. I've given him my all and as much support as I could gather, but I'm angry. This isn't the life I pictured or set myself up for either. It's not the life my kids deserve. I've missed out on so much because I'm working or I'm cleaning or I'm just so tired I can't even open my eyes. I told him he has no one to blame but himself. I think my disdain was concerning. He said he will show and prove, that he will print out his credit report and list out all the debt he has along with all his pay stubs and bank records and the receipts of what's paid off and whatever else I want as far as his finances are concerned. He promised me my hard work was not in vain and that he is almost debt-free. Come to find out his parents opened credit cards and bills in his name when he was younger and accrued close to $100K of debt in his name, not including interest. They trashed his credit and that's why it has taken so long. According to him, he has been fighting with the collection companies to settle, trying to consolidate or get a lower interest as it was multiple companies and debts. What I didn't know is some were so bad his wages were being garnished. He was in tears and said he didn't know how to tell me, that he didn't even know the extent of what they did. He was basically working all these hours with nothing to take home to us and accruing more debt just to survive. I stayed silent. My blood was boiling. He didn't even realize he just helped me make my decision. He jokingly said my outburst took care of the family situation and that is why he texted me loud and clear, meaning he and they got the message. I told him I didn't find it funny. It's a shame that it took an outburst from me for everyone to hear what I've been saying all along. That he's an idiot for not filing charges on his parents and just taking it up the ass and allowing it to ruin my life and the children we created lives. I told him he's apinales and I feel so stupid. He said he didn't call me because he knew how mad I was and was scared he would say the wrong thing and say things just like that. I thanked him for the honesty in the conversation and told him I am so broken, angry and hurt right now that I can't even pick up my pieces, let alone his. Right now I need to clear my head. He said he's willing to do whatever it takes to turn this around. He even suggested marriage counseling. He told me he used his PTO and took the rest of the week off to work on this. I lost it and sobbed uncontrollably. If it was that easy to take time off, why now and not then? I asked him why didn't I matter before we got here? Why now? I told him he needs the time off to find counseling, both personal and legal. That I won't be coming home. He asked me if I was serious. He begged me to rethink my decision. He said all the things I've been wanting to hear. He asked me where I was going to go, and what about the kids and the house and the bills. That I couldn't tear the kids from the only home they know. I simply replied, I know this is what needs to be done and I've already set the ball in motion. He hung up on me. I cried, then went to get the kids. We are going to have a wonderful week in a somewhat fancy hotel and swim in the pool and order room service and make some memories. I took some of the money I had saved in my rainy day fund and extended my hotel stay to include me and the kids. I have an awful lot to catch up on with them. The look on their faces when I said no, mommy doesn't have to work tonight was priceless. I also have an appointment with legal consultants tomorrow. Hopefully I can talk to a lawyer and figure out what's next. Wish me luck everyone and thanks again.